wasn't local, it was boom, all boom. And I kept going, there's no way you would ever walk in this room if you weren't comfortable with being, and it was not very inviting. But then Prineville has always been that way until 1978. There was a sign, the entrance into Prineville, that said, if you're a nigger,
Are you serious?
don't let the sun set on your back.
Oh my God.
And so I show up as a junior forester in 1981 on the Deschutes.
Imagine.
Oh, it was harassment the whole 2 years I was there.
I cannot imagine. Wow.
And then when I got directed reassigned from the Gifford Pinchot, I had a choice of going to Bly, John Day, or Prineville. And I said, really? Or you could go to Ohio. Well, that's not going to fit my list. So I chose Prineville, but I knew what kind of community I was going to.
Yeah.
So I always make it a point to be the best citizen there, because I know I represent my group. There's no way not to. So I don't get drunk.
Goodness.
I don't hardly do anything that might compromise my stay in Prineville.
Sure. Holy crap. I can't imagine.
So that's why I always tell people it's a challenge when you know that the world population is changing, and we need to be more embracing, or there needs to be a big influx of Euro-Americans, or you know.
I'm involved kind of in a peripheral way with fire recruitment. I get people calling me. My business is a resume writing business for wildland firefighters, and then I have this project, and I worked for AVU for a number of years. So I have this. I know it's like a bad word. So I have this, this kind of expertise that is kind of mashed into fire and recruitment, and I hear people talk all the time about how, well, we can't get any minorities or women. Nobody's interested, and we can't hire anyone, or we're forced to hire them.
Exactly.
Or, that kind of.
See, and I always use myself as an example. How many fire hires do you do a year? And not all of them, white or minority, are successful.
Oh, I just lost my sneeze. Sorry.
It's okay. And so, to me, you just have to have somebody that's willing to take you under their wings and say, I'm going to teach you how to use a Pulaski. I'm going to teach you, and I had to have the personal drive on my own time. I spent 8 hours chopping a 40-inch log to learn how to use the friggin' Pulaski, because I'd never used one before. I built a garbage house for the recreation folk. I'd never used a hammer, a saw, handsaw. It was the worst building they'd probably ever seen, but it was completed, and people didn't say, oh God, Ellie, you're an idiot. And I think that's where you would get more people if it was, and so I was in charge of the recruitment on the Ochoa, Deschutes, and Prineville BLM for a while.
Nice. And
I made sure that I told the minority employees that we had that they were going to a conservative, non-friendly community, and that they represent, every time they do something, they represent their whole race. I'm sorry, that's the way it is.
Did that.
And then I tell the supervisors, I'm going to be watching you.
Good. Good.
And that if you weren't, and I want to see the training plan, and I want to see what you guys are doing.
I'm so glad. I mean, that's awesome. That's what people should be doing.
And so then I ended up supervising them, because some of the permanent supervisors would say, I don't have time for this. And
where is your time going if you don't have time bringing your people up in a good way?
But see, they have their friends and their buddies that they want to.